Hi everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Just Momming. I'm Ashley Wong, and just before we get into the discussions, I wanted to let you know how this started. So it actually first started as a blog, just so that I could share my motherhood experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, just about everything. I wanted to be able to connect with other mommies, and I'm hoping I'll be able to do that with this vlog as well. So for today's discussion, it's going to be around one of my blog posts, why having mom friends is so important. And to take it a step further, why having mom friends at work can be such a blessing. My guest today is my colleague, my friend, and a fellow mommy, Simeca Alexander.
Hi.
So because we have the same job function, we face the same struggles at work and similar functions at home as well. We both are first-time mothers to toddlers. I have a daughter, Isabel. She's 18 months old. And Simeca has a son, Caleb. He is 13 months old. And so being in the midst of COVID-19, we both have nannies who live in St. Catherine. And when St. Catherine went on lockdown, we were alone. I mean, we had the support of our spouses, of course, but it was still a lot. We had to be taking care of our babies, we had work obligations to meet, and we still had our responsibilities at home to take care of. So it was a lot. I remember one night, this was at midnight, Simeca and I had a conversation, and we kind of just poured everything out about all of our challenges, working from home, taking care of the babies. And it was just a blessing. It was such a blessing to have somebody to complain to vent to, because she got it. She was in the same boat as I was. So Sim, how has mom friends helped you on your motherhood journey?
So having mom friends has made me realize that I'm not alone. And there are lots of moments when I'd feel guilty about stuff, but it made me see that there's nothing wrong with how I'm feeling. It's natural. You know, they put a lot of these things on TV to make it seem like you have to be the perfect mom, you have to be this and you have to be that. But I mean, the reality is it's hard. It's not all fun and games.
Yeah, it is.
So having mom friends make you realize that we are people, and you got, as you said, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, and we're gonna have those moments, and they're there for the support. You can lean into them, you can cry, you can laugh, you can talk about the raw moments, and it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah, as I said, it's such a blessing. It really is a blessing, you know. I also wanted to talk about when going back to work after maternity leave. So here in Jamaica, most companies give 3 months paid maternity leave. To me, that is just, it's not enough.
Not at all.
It's not enough.
No.
And you have to prepare for it, you know. You have to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally. You have to put in preparations with who's going to look after your child. Are you going to get a nanny? Are you going to send them in daycare?
Yeah.
Is your mother available to look after your child? You have to make those preparations. So I decided to get a nanny. Where I went wrong, I thought 2 weeks would have been sufficient. So my nanny started 2 weeks before my first day of work. And I thought that would have been enough time to, you know, for Isabel and her to get acquainted, for me to show her how I like things done and stuff like that. But it never worked out.
I remember when you were telling me too, because I remember you said to me, because I think at the time I was still pregnant, and you said, Sim, try to at least get somebody a month before so that you can get used to them and that the baby can get used to them. So I don't think I took the advice, but it was in my head really, because but the problem was I thought it would be my spouse's mother that would be looking after Caleb. So that even came in at the last moment where that threw my plans out of whack. But I got somebody 2 weeks before, and luckily enough, you know, and I still have her to this day, thank God. But luckily enough, she was a match. But it was a lot, because I thought it would be his mom coming in, and Caleb already warmed up to her, and then in the last moment, things didn't work out, and I had to get the nanny. So
that's right.
Yeah.
So luckily, the second nanny was a perfect fit, but the first one, I mean, so that is my advice for new mommies. Like, if you're gonna get a nanny, I would say at least a month for sure. How was your first day?
My first day back at work? I would say I'm a real G.
Okay, not me.
So I didn't cry. I think I personally looked forward to the freedom because I was tied down in the house. You know, Caleb was my handbag everywhere that I went. So I think I looked forward to getting out.
Yes.
The most painful part for me was the because I was lactating, so that was the hardest part for me. But when I went back home, I hugged him the tightest, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, mommy's never gonna leave you again!" And I was so excited to see him. I even took the picture with him. I said, "Oh my gosh, we survived the first day."
Yes.
It was hard.
Yeah,
it was
for
hard.
me it was rough. So I tried to prepare myself, right? So especially maybe like the last month of maternity leave, I would go on the road, do my errands, try and stay away like a day from Isabel to get used to it. So I swear I said the first day I would be, when I went to office Simeca, I had to hold back the tears. Of course, everybody's like, "How are you? How is baby?" I hold back the tears. You see, when I went into our HR manager's office, them come out like a stream. Me say me ball.
But why you felt like that though?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But as much as I tried to prepare myself, I guess.
Is it that you felt like you were splitting, you were trying to be like, you had to choose between work and being a mom? Like, what made you cry?
I think I just missed her. I think I just missed her. So the same when I went home that day, oh God, the day couldn't finish soon enough, trust me. And then in preparing now, I have to big you up again because we work on the road, we don't work in an office. And Simeca was pumping on the road. So in preparation, I had to make sure that Isabel take the bottle. Because I wasn't about that pump life. I mean, I still breastfeed her, so when I reach home, she get the breast. But I made sure she got the bottle. I made sure she would take the formula so that when I go back to work, we wouldn't have any issues. How did you manage that pumping on the road?
And that's one of the things too, Ash, because even when I looking in everything, so my background is in nutrition, so I was gung-ho that, hey, I had to exclusively breastfeed Caleb. And it's important that as moms that we don't bash on other moms' choice as to how they take care of their children.
Right.
So where you decided to both formula feed and breastfeed, that works for you, go ahead. The child is getting fed anyways, and that's awesome.
I've seen something that said, Fed is best.
Fed is best.
Fed is best. No make nobody tell you otherwise.
Exactly. But how I manage, I mean, as I said, I was gung-ho that this is what I was going to do. So I got the breast pump set online, and I had the pump,
thermos and all of that.
So it comes with all of that actually. And I had the pumping bra, and as much as my spouse doesn't like it that I'm pumping while on the road, everybody can see. But guess what? There are some things that you have to do. That when you become a mom, a lot of your pride goes out the window. I mean, you still try to be proper as much as possible, but when you realize that you're doing it for your baby, nothing else really matters. I mean, my windows are up, and if I had to park, I'd put up my shield on the window. But I had my pumping bra, and I'd put in my breast pump probably when I'm eating lunch. I'd time it like to pump every 2 hours. I mean, as the time went by, I'd pump less frequently. And the ice pack was in there, and I carried it home in the evening and put it in the freezer. So I had my stash put up.
Big up yourself, Sim, because
it was hard.
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
When I weaned, hallelujah.
And I'm still not there yet, but that's another story. I won't bother get into that today. Oh my goodness. But what I did not mention, Simeca is our workplace wellness advocate. You can find her. Well, we're going to put all of that. Right, Chris? Yes.
Yeah.
So, Sim, what advice would you give to employers on how they can support moms when they go back to work after maternity leave?
Alright, so there are actually a number of things that are done internationally, and we have regulations in Jamaica. I mean, not necessarily regulations, but advice as to what to do for moms, and they normally recommend that you actually have a breast pumping room for mothers, because as you see, even though I work on the road, it's a little bit different from you.
Right.
But have a little room where it's private, nobody can disturb them.
I wonder, you think any companies in Jamaica have that?
Actually, JMMB, they have a nursery.
Awesome.
And that's in close proximity to the mother, so they can go during the lunchtime or whenever to check on the child, and they actually have a breastfeeding room and a little refrigerator where you can put the milk in. Yeah, that's awesome. So each workplace, just a little room. It doesn't have to be anything big. Somewhere they have a comfortable chair they can sit and pump for half an hour, and somewhere to store the milk. That is something that is easy, like one of the easiest things that workplaces can do to support their mothers as employees.
Yes, definitely.
And I think our workplace does well in terms of having casual days. So, a lot of times when your child is sick, or trust me, sickness doesn't even have to be a reason to take a day off. We have our sick days or 10 sick days.
Right.
I think, at your discretion though, because, people can abuse these privileges, but just hear the mommy out. I really can't come in today, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of tired, or sometimes it's just a matter of I just need some mental break, you know?
Yes. So just for them to be understanding. I mean,
Just a day. So there should be somebody that I can talk to and say, look, I can't come in today. I just need a break.
Yeah.
So just, you know, allow them that once in a while. Obviously not every day or whatever, but once in a while, give them that flexibility, because trust me, we're moms. And being a mom, it is, you know, I used to look at it and think, hey, I'll be that mom that can have everything going, but sometimes you really need to just step away from it. You have these multiple responsibilities. I'm at work and I have to zone into work mode, and then when I go home, I have to zone into wife mode, zone into mother mode.
Right.
So sometimes we just need to get back.
That's right. That's right. Well, Sim, thank you so much for being here, for being my very first guest. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Aww. And stay tuned for another episode, guys. Bye.